Good afternoon, class. Welcome to 7th hour reading, The Watsons Go to Birmingham. Today, students are going to demonstrate understanding of how to write a compare and contrast paper by creating a graphic organizer. Also, you're going to complete an essay using the information gathered from the graphic organizer. Under language, you're going to discuss how the characters of Kenny and Byron are the same and how they are different. You're also going to review verbally the structure for a compare and contrast essay. All right, hopefully table 4 has already passed out the booklets. If they have not, please pause this and let them do that. On the calendar, it says 48 through 50. But I want you to change your calendar and change it to 49-50. You're going to turn to page 49 of your booklet and look at number 3. As a class, you're going to find 4 things that are same and 4 things that are different between Byron and Kenny. And then you're going to write it in a paragraph form on page 50. Let's take a look at that real quick so you understand exactly what I am talking about. Okay, first of all, turn to your page 49. All right, you've been given a graphic organizer already. So what you're going to do is, on the far left, you see the word Kenny, the name Kenny. Those are 4 things that you as a class will discuss what are different between Kenny and Byron. And you can give out more than 4. And then you can choose which ones you might want to use. But I only need 4. Miss Hare will let you know if they're correct or not. Then you're going to look at the difference for Byron. Okay? How is Byron different? Then in the middle, how are both of them the same? And like I said, Miss Hare will let you know if it's correct, and you guys can do this chart together as a class. When you get done, you will then transfer this information onto this page, page number 50, and it says, using the information from the graphic organizer, write several paragraphs comparing the characters of Kenny and Byron Watson. Be sure to include how the characters interact with each other. Okay, once you get the information on the Venn diagram, you're probably wondering, if you haven't had me for ELA, how do I put this into paragraph form? Well, first of all, you're going to have 4 paragraphs, okay? And Miss Hare will pass this out after we get done if she has not passed it out yet. There's an outline that you can use for all compare and contrast papers, whether you're comparing 2 characters or books or movies. It's the same format. So first of all, at the very top of your essay, make sure you put a title. You don't have to do the title at the very beginning. You can always do the title at the very end. For example, Byron and Kenny, compare and contrasting essay. Something like that. Or you could even say, Byron and Kenny Watson. How are they the same? How are they different? ? Something like that. Let's start off with paragraph 1. Anytime you write a compare and contrast paper, you always begin with a question that will get your reader pulled into your paper. Then you state what you're comparing. Okay, that should be about 3 sentences. 3 to 5 anyway. Make sure that you indent because it is in paragraph form. Paragraph number 2. Begin with the topic sentence that lets the reader know the purpose for this paragraph. Tell about what both characters have that are the same, which is the word compare. You can say something like, Byron and Kenny have several things in common, period. One of the things that they have in common is blank and blank blank. Another common thing about them is blank blank blank, something like that, okay? But you need to have at least 5 sentences. Try not to do more than 7. Paragraph 3 is the body. Begin with the topic sentence that lets the reader know the purpose of this paragraph. If we already wrote about how they're the same, how are they different? Okay? And use transitional words when explaining when you're going from paragraph to paragraph or within sentences. And after we finish our conclusion here, there's a list of transitional words. I'll show you here in just a minute. Paragraph 4, conclusion. Writer shows why it is useful to know how the two things are similar and different. Give your thought or opinion without saying, I think, my opinion is, or I believe. For example, you can say, in conclusion, comma, Byron and Kenny are similar and different in many ways. These two are brothers, and although they don't get along with each other, they blank, blank, blank. And so give your opinion without saying my opinion is. Okay, so the brothers are whatever. Okay, so you should have a total of 4 paragraphs. Now, transitional words. What do I mean by that? These are the most common transitional words. When you are using a paragraph or using a paragraph to explain about how they're different, these are some words that you can use in the beginning of a sentence, but make sure you always put a comma after transitional words. For example, but, comma, nevertheless, comma, they are different because, okay? Comparison. These are some words for the comparison paragraph. So, in the same way, comma, Byron and Kenny are the same because, this is comparison, which means they are the same. So in the same way, both Byron and Kenny are loving brothers, for example, which they're not necessarily loving brothers, but that's just a sentence I gave you. All right, and also if you're writing a paragraph about both of the characters being the same, these are some transitional words you can use for that. Okay, you really need to be on task today. Work hard together as a class. If you do not finish your paragraph, you need to take this home, please. This needs to be completed because tomorrow we start a new lesson. Tomorrow, it looks like for tomorrow you guys are going to be reading chapter 9. You need to have the summary page and the questions completed by tomorrow after you listen to the story, like we always do. Okay? So make sure your paragraphs are done tonight and make sure chapter 9 is done tomorrow, please. If you have any questions, please talk to Miss Hare, and if she needs to find the answer, she'll email me, and we can also FaceTime, so she can contact me and give me the questions, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. Work hard, get things done. If you're not quite sure, talk to your leaders, the table leaders I've been assigning in the classroom. Otherwise, do well. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.